well and you've had an absolutely fantastic week. I have had an amazing week. I've been working now. I'm working for the next week. So I'm doing 2 weeks and I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm at an office for the next 2 weeks. And it's been an experience. I don't even know where to begin. It's been so fulfilling to be able to get out of the house and actually go and interact with other people. But in the same breath, it's also so tiring, going and doing this every single day, getting up early, taking the kids away, dropping them at daycare or at the day mother, and luckily Aiden gets dropped off by Paul. So, I don't have that stress as well, but still, big ups to working moms. You guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job. But today's video is not about that. What I do want to speak about is something I'd mentioned in my previous video where I had said that for reasons of not reasons of my own, just because of the fact that I wasn't producing enough milk, I could not breastfeed for very long, and this was for both my kids. And a friend of mine contacted me, and our youngest kids are exactly the same age. They were born on the same day. They're a couple of hours apart. And she says to me, Megs, when do you stop breastfeeding? When do I say no more? When is that cut off? And I envy her. I envy her a lot because, she still has that ability to breastfeed her son. Also, in the same breath, there's another friend of mine. She's got a 2-year-old and she's still breastfeeding him. And she's also going, when do I say no? Because I'm working. I work. I've also got a 9 to 5. So I'm expressing and I'm breastfeeding at night, and because he won't drink any other milk. He'll have milk and tea and whatever and those kind of things, but he wants his mom's breast milk. And she says it's so tiring because she's still pumping milk and she is still putting him on the boob and. So my question is now, when do we as moms say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Is it wrong to say, I don't want to do this anymore? This is something that our kids need. Our kids should have it. And if you're able to do it, you should do it. But when do we go no more? Especially if you are a working mom and you are having to take your kids to a day mother, but they still want that bottle of milk. And she's obviously pumping milk and she's then sending bottles to school with milk. And it's always been like that for her. I think she went back to work and she was the baby was 6 months old. And she's had to do that. That's all he's ever known. Yes, he drinks tea and he drinks water and he drinks juice and all of those things. But she says it comes to a point where they're in a mall and he wants to have milk. And, she'll take out a breast and she'll feed him. And he's a big boy. He's talking, he's walking. So that is my question, is I want to know, and I would like to know from other moms, when do we say, no more breastfeeding? I don't want to do this anymore. Is it wrong to say, I don't want to do this anymore? Wow, it is a whole, I think this topic specifically, it's late. It is so late. And I'm getting tongue-tied. This topic opens up so many cans of worm. But it is a topic that us mothers, we need to broach. We need to ask these things. We need to ask other moms, what have they done? How are they doing it? How old was your kid when you stopped breastfeeding? Why did you stop breastfeeding? When do you say, I cannot breastfeed anymore? Like I said, in some instances, like my own, my milk just was not strong enough for my kids. It wasn't sustaining them. It wasn't keeping them full anymore. I was literally feeding my baby. I was literally feeding her every hour to an hour and a half, and it just became too much for me. And like I mentioned in my previous video, I then obviously started with the formula milk, and then I just decided that, you know what, I was just going to put her on the formula. It would just make life so much easier. So that was my decision, and it was a personal decision. And yes, I was upset, I was heartbroken, because that is a bond that nobody can break, between a mother and a child, is that moment when you're breastfeeding. I mean, that very first moment that you breastfeed. I, with Isabella, obviously, because she was a prem baby and because she was in ICU, I only breastfed, I think I was expressing for the first 5 days, and we were giving her milk through a syringe. And then because her lungs weren't strong enough and she was on oxygen, so we were doing all of that. But afterwards, you know, that first moment, I think it was like on the 7th day, when I put this little girl on my boob, it was the best feeling. And the minute they latch, it is the most excruciating pain, I think, in the first week or two, but yet still so fulfilling. But now my question comes down to, and like I mentioned earlier on, when do we say, I cannot do this anymore? I don't want to do this anymore. When do we say no more breastfeeding? I would like to hear from other mommies. What did you do? When did you stop? Why did you stop? Please tell us. Also, once again, thank you for everyone for all the support and for always watching my videos. Hopefully my next video will be up a little bit earlier. Like I said, this week has been absolutely hectic. Wow. Working moms, you guys are doing a flippin' fantastic job. I love it. Also, please don't forget to like, to subscribe, comment at the bottom of this video. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from moms. Yeah. Thank you so much, dolls. Thank you for always for supporting me in these baby steps that I've started taking. And yes, let's get a discussion going. Let's do this thing. And hopefully I will see you sooner rather than later. It is time for me to go and remove my face. I'm just so ready to get into bed. I've packed everything, all the lunches are ready, and we're getting ready for the new day tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and don't forget once again to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, please look me up on social media. It's just Megan Skulls on Facebook, and on Insta it is Skulls Megan. Yeah, and I'll be posting a new video very soon. Love you, dolls.